Yeah, it's your boy Fist in his house, bringing another great edition of Modern Warfare 3 from me to you, because that's what I do. And welcome back. We are doing our Call of Duty weapons series on request from you, the subscribers. Last week was the AK-47, and basically that was a good series. We had fun with that. You know, it all started with people saying, "Oh, you use the MP7, and I'm like, oh my goodness. I mean, like, you come here and you watch one video and then you think I'm using the MP7 the whole time. So anyways, I decided to start this series if you're new to the channel, and last week was the AK-47. So this week, we are covering the MP5. Yes, it was famously known in Call of Duty 4, the Modern Warfare 2. It's been around. Sometimes, some games it's great, some games it's bad. And this particular game, we will get to the answer really soon, really quick. So let's get it started. So, the MP5. What are the pros and what are the cons? A lot of people, you know, this was chosen by you, the subscribers. It was probably like in between the M4 and the MP5. And usually when I see, you know, not ridiculous weapons being picked, but weapons like, you know, people that want to use them and try to figure out how they can make them work. Maybe they want to use something different. They get tired of using the MP7, the PP90, or whatever, the ACR, and they're like, yo, I want to use the MP5. Fist, how do I make the MP5 work? So here's the first couple things you got to realize. You know, you can make it work in any game type, but you know, when you're playing different game types, it's going to change. The dynamics of the weapon are going to change. You know, first and foremost, let's realize this one most important fact when picking weapons is that whether or not you are a host. If you're a host, your weapon will have a great advantage. What do I mean by host is that everybody is playing off of your Xbox in your game. So based on your connection, you know, for your first come, first serve, according to those reactions. Now, the MP5 is an SMG. First selectable SMG, first unlockable. I don't think it's unlockable, but I think it's the very first SMG. So let's talk about the pros and the cons and how to make it work in your game. You know, so let's say you're playing Team Deathmatch. In this case, I'm playing, it's 9v9, killed confirmed. Ground War, Domination, Team Deathmatch. Usually, those three come in the rotation of gameplay. And now you have to remember too, once you get past those two specific points, game type, connection, you also have to remember, you know, map specific gameplay. You know, because every weapon is particular in how it works to the map that you're using. Now, this particular case, we're in Resistance, which is a close quarter combat map, and you know, it's going to be pretty you know, if you're going to grade it on, like, let's say a 1 to 5, you know, 5, I would definitely use it on this map. 1, I would not. You would probably put it like a 4.5, 3.5. It is usable. I mean, it's usable to use this weapon on the map. And the reasons are the pro reasons to using an MP5 on this map is the fact a lot of people don't realize that the MP5 is an SMG. Some SMGs shoot off the hip really well, and that's their passive, you know, ability. So, you know, like the MP7 doesn't have that passive ability where you can shoot off the hip, and it connects really well. But the MP5, maybe a lot of people don't realize that one of its attributes, one of its passive abilities, is shooting off the hip, and that's one of the positives to this weapon. So, what am I running right here? Is that obviously it's really hard to get a lot of kills with this weapon because it has a lot of cons. And the cons are, you know, you will not be able to kill people at long range. The spread pattern the amount of bullets it takes to kill somebody, and in conjunction with the lag compensation, lag spikes, whatever it may be in the game, it doesn't have dedicated servers, so you're not really meeting any true potential actualization of any weapon in this game. So the MP5, at best, off the hip, it's an off the hip weapon. And if you're shooting an off the hip weapon, that means it's map specific type of weapon. So that means you'll only be able to play it on certain maps, especially with the spread pattern. Now, it's kind of got like a built-in stalker into it. So when you pull it up, another pro is to this weapon is the ADS. You really don't need quick draw for it, so you can afford to use a secondary, mid-tier perk in the second slot. Like Ninja or something that would work best for you. Now, I am using a different secondary because people were making a suggestion that the FMG9s are noob weapons. But for my situation, and the way I play the game, is that I use secondaries as they're supposed to be used. I pull them out in tight situations where I take on multiple targets. Came to the realization that, I switched to the G18s. It's better for me because it has a higher rate of fire. Once you learn how to control that, I can take out multiple targets a lot faster, and I don't have to worry about the folding stocks. So the only minus to that is the amount of bullets in the weapon. But that's irregardless. If you're not a 3.0 kill death ratio type guy, that means, if you get 3 kills and you still have your secondaries and you haven't even used the bullets in them, what's the point of having them anyway? Because you're not extending your kill streak with that secondary. So going back to the MP5, now I am using it with rapid fire. I have higher streaks because that helps this weapon. It is a very low tier weapon. It has a lot of cons to it, with the ability of not being able to hit somebody at long range on a consistent basis in a lag-free game, and the amount of bullets it takes for it to kill the SMG with this SMG, and the spread pattern, how horrible it is. There's just too many variables for this weapon to be a weapon that you would use on a consistent basis. But if you're the person who loves the game and you want to get your money's worth out of it, and you're looking for suggestions from Fist, the best suggestion I can give you is use it on map-specific very short maps, off the hip, and short to medium, aiming down the sights, hitting somebody, and only aiming at somebody who is not aiming at you at long distance. If you try to take on a sniper, an MK14 player, SCAR, ACR, you will lose. And with that being said, and all those things into conjunction, my overall rating for this weapon is very low. But you can tinker around. I would suggest none of the infrared because of the way people use Assassin. That's pointless. And then especially if you're not hitting people in the first place and you can't even see them with the infrared, that's very bad. So I wouldn't even highly suggest. The best thing is rapid fire, iron sights, maybe red dot. Worst case, ACOG if you're feeling froggish. But overall, I would have to grade this weapon a very low tier weapon, and it's very hard to play. And if you want to challenge yourself, sure, on certain small maps, yes, go ahead, do so. So I hope this was very informative to you. We'll be covering maybe extended mags, kick, and different combinations of rapid fire and the silencer at best. I hope you enjoyed this. Until next time, I hope it was informative. It's your boy Fist. Peace. I'm out.